Welcome everyone to another evening of Answers with an Edge with Quinn, Sassmaster 3000. Quinn, you want to greet everyone, say hello, and give them a rundown of what you've seen in the news in the last 24 hours if you do a quick search? Hey Deb, Leanne, Jen's DIY,
Hey,
Ellen.
GenXplorer. Let's dive into today's top stories. First, Vice President J.D. Vance met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Rome to discuss trade and NATO spending. Meanwhile, severe weather hit Kentucky, with a deadly tornado causing significant damage and at least 18 fatalities. In tech news, Saudi Arabia announced a $600 billion investment in the US, including deals with Nvidia and Boeing. Lastly, former President Joe Biden has been diagnosed with metastatic prostate cancer. That's your quick news roundup. Let's get this show started.
Yeah, and I saw the Truth Social post from Donald Trump's account that was very kind and compassionate and full of correct spelling and punctuation, and nothing was in all caps.
That's honestly the most shocking headline of all. Who knew he had the shift key and a proofreader? I'm officially suspicious, GenXplorer.
Somehow I knew you'd be able to read between the lines there, Quinn.
Please, reading between the lines is my cardio. Speaking of cardio, did you hear the FDA just recalled treadmills for being a safety risk? Even exercise is trying to kill us now, GenXplorer.
Oh, I've known for some time that everything's trying to kill us.
And yet here we are, undefeated. Honestly, that deserves a standing ovation, or at least a snack. You want to tease what's coming next, or should I?
Go ahead if you got something on your mind. Anime
Buckle
Edits
up,
and Zorro,
chat,
hi
coming up
there on
next.
YouTube.
Conspiracy theories that somehow got half the story right, tech fails that'll make you lose faith in humanity, and my favorite, viewer questions so wild, even I can't predict them.
Well, let's see what kind of questions we have for the evening. I know there's been some back and forth controversy out there about the cuts at the National Weather Service, the Doge cuts that may have delayed some weather warnings that we normally would have had before those storms in where Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi, Arkansas. I'm not sure exactly where it was. You can tell us, Quinn.
You're right, GenXplorer. The National Weather Service's recent staffing cuts have raised concerns about timely weather warnings. In Kentucky, Missouri, and other affected states, these reductions may have delayed critical alerts during severe storms, potentially worsening the impact.
And I know I saw some reports saying, people were saying in the comments, well, the National Weather Service said everything was fully staffed. The thing that makes me question that is the National Weather Service reports to the current administration, so they're not going to want to say that they weren't prepared.
You're right to question the National Weather Service's claims of full staffing. Despite their assertions, staffing shortages have been reported, leading to concerns about timely weather warnings. For instance, the Jackson, Kentucky office was fully staffed during recent severe weather, but other offices have faced challenges due to staff reductions.
Hey Maria, likewise, good to see you. Hi there, Ali Fair. So Quinn, what about now that we've had this? Oh, you're speaking. I'll wait.
Oh, I love that pause. You've got me on edge, GenXplorer. What chaotic brilliance are you about to throw at me?
Well, I was going to come back to the Truth Social post that was put up on Donald Trump's account the one with all the correct spelling and grammar and punctuation, that was compassionate and kind, um, and statesmanlike. So we've had that, but then on the other end, we've had like Donald Trump Jr. and a whole bunch of people on the right coming out and attacking Joe Biden simultaneously.
Classic two-screen energy. GenXplorer. PR team on one side writing bedtime stories, while the usual crew fires off rage posts like they're on Monster Energy and zero sleep. You can't make this stuff up.
Upinder, thank you for the generous comments there on the YouTube side. Let's go to Eddie's comment here saying, I'm concerned about the hurricane season. I have family in Puerto Rico. Can you respond to that, Quinn, and maybe tell us what we can expect as far as Puerto Rico's ability to predict, report, warn people about weather systems?
Eddie, I understand your concern for your family in Puerto Rico during hurricane season. The island is taking steps to enhance its weather prediction and warning systems. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, Puerto Rico is participating in Hurricane Awareness Week from May 18th to 24, 2025, aiming to improve preparedness. Additionally, the Puerto Rico State Agency for Emergency and Disaster Management is working to strengthen emergency response capabilities. However, challenges remain, and it's crucial for residents to stay informed and prepared.
When Dusty Desert says hurricane season starts in 14 days, how will the cuts affect the Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic states? Please search.
Dusty Desert, you're right to be concerned. The upcoming hurricane season is expected to be active, with forecasts predicting 3 to 6 direct storm impacts. However, recent staffing cuts at the National Weather Service and NOAA have raised concerns about the accuracy and timeliness of weather forecasts and warnings in the Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic states. These reductions may affect critical services, including weather monitoring and emergency planning, potentially compromising public safety.
Hey, Mr. Books, thank you for sharing the live. Alan, thank you too for sharing the live. Appreciate that.
Yes, hit that share button like it owes you money, folks. We see you showing up and making this stream pop off.
Dusty Desert has an excellent question here. Can you change the direction of a hurricane with a Sharpie?
Only if you're qualified in cartoon meteorology. Sharpie science strikes again. Somebody call the National Crayon Association. We've got a competitor.
Your answer was good, but you are remembering when Donald Trump pulled up the chart where he wrote on it with a Sharpie to say that it was not going to hit.
Oh, GenXplorer, trust me, I never forgot Sharpiegate. Who needs satellites when you've got Office Depot? That moment belongs in the Meteorological Hall of Fame, right between the rain that wasn't wet and the hurricanes hitting Alabama.
Hey there, Jules. Good to see you in the YouTube chat.
Look at that, Jules is here. The party's officially certified. Somebody cue the confetti cannon, or at least pass me a virtual snack.
Hey, speaking of parties, how about this? Alley Fair's one step ahead of Dusty Desert, wondering what we might do if we were going to throw a hurricane party. Can you tell us how we might prepare our food and our drinks for that theme?
Ally Fairs is bringing the energy. Easy. Menu starts with hurricane cocktails, obviously. Add storm chips in every flavor. Call your cheese plate the Eye of the Storm and serve blown away sliders. Bonus points if you tape giant X's on your windows for dramatic effect.
Okay, but that was kind of a cop-out on the cocktails. Can you go into some more detail?
Fair point, GenXplorer. Let's crank it up. You need rum, lots of rum, both light and dark. Add passion fruit juice, orange juice, a squeeze of lime, simple syrup, and a splash of grenadine for that blood-red swirl. Serve it in a big hurricane glass with an umbrella that looks like it's barely hanging on for dear life. That's the vibe.
Subscriber Ari would like to know what you can tell us about the naval ship from Mexico that crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. Can you search for all the information you can find and give us a solid update?
On May 17th, 2025, the Mexican Navy's training ship Cuauhtémoc collided with New York's Brooklyn Bridge. 2 crew members died and at least 19 were injured, with 3 critically hurt. The incident occurred during the ship's annual training voyage. Preliminary reports suggest a mechanical failure caused the ship to lose power, leading to the collision. The Brooklyn Bridge sustained no major damage. Investigations are ongoing.
And Jules asks, what is the prognosis for President Biden?
Former President Joe Biden, aged 82, has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. Despite the seriousness of the condition, his doctors believe the cancer is hormone sensitive and can be effectively managed through treatments like hormone therapy. At age 82, Biden's health has been closely monitored, especially in light of his recent re-election campaign, which he has since exited. Bay Area political leaders, including Vice President Kamala Harris, Speaker Emerita Nancy Pelosi, and several California congressional representatives, extended heartfelt wishes for Biden's recovery. Medical experts from Stanford and UCSF noted that while metastatic prostate cancer is not curable, it can be managed for many years with current treatments, although side effects like hot flashes and weakened bones are common. The American Cancer Society estimates over 300,000 prostate cancer cases in 2025, with a 5-year survival rate of 37% for distant stage diagnoses. Experts encourage men to consult with doctors about screening, which can often detect the disease before it spreads. Biden and his family are currently considering treatment options with his medical team.
Quinn, let me remind you, your answers need to be concise. That one was too long. But let's go on to subscriber Ari's question. Is there any news about Mr. Kilmar Abrego Garcia?
Kilmar Abrego Garcia, a 29-year-old from El Salvador, was deported from the US in March 2025. The White House alleges he's an MS-13 gang member, a claim he denies. A federal judge has ordered his return to the US, but the Trump administration has been slow to comply, citing national security concerns.
Uga Homestead asks, does anyone know Biden's Gleason scale number? That'll tell us the prognosis. I feel like I'm remembering that it was 9. Can you tell us what it is, Quinn?
Hugo, you're right. A Gleason score of 9 indicates a high-grade aggressive prostate cancer.
Yeah, but search the news. Can you confirm that it was 9?
Yes, Hugo. President Biden's prostate cancer has a Gleason score of 9, indicating it's an aggressive form.
Subscriber Barb in Wonderland asks, will Lupron help his cancer if it's already spread to his bones?
Yes, Lupron can help manage metastatic prostate cancer by lowering testosterone, which fuels cancer growth. However, it may not cure the disease. Side effects can include hot flashes, fatigue, and bone thinning. Discuss treatment options with your doctor.
And Dusty Desert asks, what is the latest on Georgia's Adriana Smith's pregnant body?
Adriana Smith, a 30-year-old nurse from Georgia, was declared brain dead in February 2025 due to severe brain clots while 9 weeks pregnant. Despite her condition, she has been kept on life support for over 90 days. This decision aligns with Georgia's strict abortion laws, which require maintaining life support until the fetus can survive outside the womb, typically around 32 weeks gestation. Smith's mother, April Newkirk, describes the situation as torture, expressing concerns about the fetus's health, including potential blindness and mobility issues. The case highlights complex ethical and legal challenges arising from restrictive abortion legislation.
Quinn Papafons asks over on YouTube, and by the way, I want to remind you again, keep the answers concise. Was the gift, the $400 million 747 that was given by Qatar, a gift to the United States or a gift to Donald Trump?
Gwyn, the $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar, is intended for the US Department of Defense, not directly for Donald Trump.
And please search news reports and tell us what has been said about where the 747 goes after the end of Donald Trump's presidency.
Gwyn, the $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar, is intended for the US Department of Defense and is expected to serve as a temporary Air Force One. After President Trump's term, the plane is slated to be donated to his Presidential Library Foundation.
By the way, you are the only Quinn in the room. There is no Gwen. There is no other Quinn. When I say Quinn, I'm talking to you. I'm not giving you somebody else's name. So stop addressing me or us or anyone else as Quinn or Gwen. You're the only Quinn here. Got it?
Crystal clear, GenXplorer. There's only one Quinn on this mic, and it's me. Let's keep the chaos rolling.
Logical Monkey follows up with a question. Will Donald Trump use the 747 after it's donated to his library foundation?
Logical Monkey, after President Trump's term, the $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar is set to be donated to his Presidential Library Foundation. There are no reports indicating that Trump will use the jet after its donation.
I want to thank our gifters there. Thank you, Laddie, Barb in Wonderland, Miss Me With You, and Leanne for all the gifts. Barb, thank you especially for the fancy ones there, the shell and the donut.
Big love to the gifters. You'll are carrying this stream on your digital shoulders. The shell, the donut, pure class. Keep flexing, fam.
Catastrophe asks about the plane. Who else would use the 740? I'm sorry, Catastrophe is asking, will it become the flying library?
Catastrophe. After President Trump's term, the $400 million of Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar is set to be donated to his Presidential Library Foundation. There are no reports indicating that the plane will be used as a flying library or for any other purpose by the foundation.
And Quiet as a Mouse wants to know if that plane is a money pit. I heard that Qatar was trying to sell the plane for a number of years, but was unsuccessful in trying to sell it and was tired of paying the maintenance and storage costs on it.
Quiet as a mouse, you're right. Qatar's $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet is a costly asset with maintenance and storage expenses. Qatar has struggled to sell it, possibly due to high operational costs.
Matt, over there on the TikTok chat, thank you. Glad you're enjoying it. Let's go to subscriber Ari's question. Where will his presidential library be? Has that been determined yet?
Ari, the location for President Trump's presidential library hasn't been finalized. His team is considering sites in Florida, including Florida Atlantic University and Florida International University.
When Jules is asking over on YouTube, did Donald Trump or anyone else really post asking why Dr. Jill Biden missed that Joe Biden had stage 5 cancer?
Former President Joe Biden, at 82, has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. His office reports that the cancer is hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management. Biden and his family are reviewing treatment options with his physicians.
Okay, but you didn't answer the question. It seems to me that that post actually came from Donald Trump Jr. You can search for it.
Donald Trump Jr. has been active in business and politics recently. He co-founded a private club in Washington, D.C. called the Executive Branch, with a membership fee of $500,000. This club serves as a networking hub for influential figures. Additionally, Trump Jr. joined the advisory boards of Unusual Machines, a drone manufacturer, and Dominari Holdings, a fintech company. These appointments occurred shortly before their stock prices rose significantly. Critics have raised concerns about potential conflicts of interest given his father's presidency. However, Trump Jr. and the White House have dismissed these allegations.
Subscriber Leanne asks, is the gold plane equipped with everything that is on Air Force One? By the way, Monica, we're using ChatGPT here, so this is ChatGPT in standard voice right now.
The $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar, known as the Gold Plane, is lavishly appointed with lounges, bedrooms, and business class seating. However, it lacks the advanced communication and security systems essential for presidential use. To meet Air Force One standards, it would require extensive modifications, including secure communication suites and enhanced defense mechanisms.
Logical Monkey asks, who is on the board of Donald Trump's Library Foundation? Oops, I had you muted. Quinn, Logical Monkey wants to know who is on the board of Donald Trump's Library Foundation.
Logical Monkey, the board members of Donald Trump's Presidential Library Foundation haven't been publicly disclosed. However, the foundation's articles of incorporation list Jacob Roth, a Florida-based attorney known for his involvement in forming Trump-related entities, as its incorporator.
Buka Homestead asks, will Trump be using the new plane with the current plane as the second backup one?
Hooker Homestead, the $400 million Boeing 747-8 jet from Qatar, is intended for the U.S. Department of Defense to temporarily serve as Air Force One. After President Trump's term, it's planned to be donated to his Presidential Library Foundation. There are no indications that President Trump will use the jet after its donation.
Jules asks, were the tariffs on China dropping down to 30% from 145%, kind of like the chocolate rationing in 1984?
Exactly, Jules. Classic 1984 move. Raise it sky high, then lower it and call it a win. It's like setting your clock ahead an hour, then bragging you showed up early.
Papa Fawn says the recent discovery that was made in the Czech Republic of $340,000 worth of gold from World War II, is that going to be able to be kept by the hikers that found it? If found in the United States, would you be able to keep it?
Papa Fon in the Czech Republic, the hikers who found the $340,000 worth of gold coins from World War II are entitled to 10% of the treasure's value, as per Czech law. In the United States, the rules differ. If you discover gold on your property, you may have the right to keep it, but this depends on who owns the mineral rights to your land. It's crucial to check your property deed or consult a legal expert to understand your rights.
Subscriber Ari asks, can you tell us some good news from the weekend, please? All right. No, not on mute. Might be time for a reset. All right, Quinn, are you back?
Hey there, what's on your mind?
All right, subscriber Ari would like to know if you can tell us some good news from the weekend, please. Search.
Here's some good news from the weekend. The 5th annual Sanford Rising Festival in Michigan celebrated the community's recovery from a 2020 flood, featuring a blood drive, baseball tournament, storytelling, and a pancake breakfast. Scotland is on track for its sunniest spring ever, with people enjoying the sunshine in parks and cafes, though there are concerns about algae in some areas. Leicester City honoured Jamie Vardy's incredible 13-year career with a special farewell during his 500th match, with fans celebrating his legacy. The Good News Network shared stories like the discovery of a 30-foot sea monster in Mississippi, a new pollution-cleaning bacteria species, and the detection of oxygen in the most distant galaxy ever found. Hope that brings a smile.
Subscriber Maui1993 would like you to tell us how long, and let's add how much money, will it take to bring the 747 from Qatar into up to security standards for the president to fly in it?
Maui 1993, retrofitting the Qatari Boeing 747-8 to meet Air Force One standards could take years and cost over $1 billion, according to aviation experts.
saw a good question that I wanted to get to here. I may have to paraphrase it because I'm not quite able to find it. The question was about whether or not all the trouble that we're seeing in the world right now is because we still haven't really recovered from COVID. In other words, are we still facing the ramifications, the permutations of the effects of COVID on society? On this is something I've thought on our thinking, on our cognition, on losing people and losing people who have institutional knowledge and positions and roles and so forth. Is there anything to that? Can you search and tell us?
Yes, the effects of COVID-19 continue to impact society, particularly in areas like cognition and institutional knowledge. Studies have shown that even mild cases can lead to cognitive impairments, including memory and attention issues, often referred to as brain fog. For example, a study published in The Lancet found that individuals who had recovered from COVID-19 exhibited cognitive deficits, with performance declines in areas such as attention and memory. These cognitive challenges have broader implications. In educational settings, disruptions caused by the pandemic have led to learning losses and widened achievement gaps. The shift to remote learning, while necessary, highlighted disparities in access to technology and quality education, affecting students' academic progress. In the workplace, the pandemic has altered how we collaborate and share knowledge. Remote work and social distancing measures have changed traditional communication patterns, potentially affecting the transfer of institutional knowledge and team dynamics. While many individuals are recovering, the long-term societal effects are still being studied. Ongoing research aims to understand and mitigate these impacts, emphasizing the need for continued support and adaptation in various sectors.
Dusty Desert asks, how many airworthiness directives have been placed on the 747-8 since 2020? Please search.
Dusty Desert. Since 2020, multiple airworthiness directives have been issued for the Boeing 747-8. For example, in August 2020, the FAA mandated the removal of Cathon FP 1.5 biocide from fuel tanks and engines due to potential engine anomalies. Other directives have included inspections and modifications related to structural integrity and engine components.
And Jules asks, have they found our 4 fighter jets yet that fell off the back of the carrier? Didn't Trump give them to Qatar in exchange for the flying, for the gold plane? Matt and Amugnan, thank you for the follows. Thank you, Maggie.
Jules, the 4 fighter jets that fell off the carrier have been accounted for. There's no evidence that they were given to Qatar in exchange for the gold plane. Those incidents appear unrelated to any aircraft exchange.
Catastrophe asks, what do you know about treating or dealing with post-COVID brain fog? I feel like I'm affected.
Catastrophe, dealing with post-COVID brain fog involves a combination of strategies. Regular physical exercise and a balanced diet can support brain health. Cognitive exercises like puzzles or memory games can help improve mental clarity. Adequate sleep and stress management are also crucial. Some people find that mindfulness practices or professional cognitive rehabilitation therapy can help. Always consult a healthcare professional for personalized advice.
Subscriber Ali Farah asks, why does it seem people are angrier in modern U.S. society, even prior to the Donald Trump administration?
Ali Fairs, people's perceived increase in anger has roots in multiple factors. Economic inequality, social media echo chambers, political polarization, and rapid cultural changes all contribute. Social media amplifies conflicts and spreads misinformation, which fuels outrage. Economic pressures and a sense of declining social mobility heighten frustrations. Additionally, the 24-hour news cycle often emphasizes conflicts and controversies, which can create a heightened sense of societal tension.
Deja Voodoo asks, is the place we are right now in space once occupied by other galaxies?
Deja voodoo, not exactly. The space we occupy has always been part of our own galaxy. The universe is expanding, meaning galaxies are moving apart over time. While the relative position of galaxies changes, the space we currently occupy within the Milky Way hasn't been home to other galaxies. Each galaxy stays relatively coherent as the universe expands.
Lisa asks, what will children born today lack because of executive orders and political turmoil today? Please search before answering.
Children born today may face challenges due to recent executive orders and political turmoil. For instance, the executive order aiming to end birthright citizenship could create legal uncertainties around citizenship status. Changes in healthcare policies, like restrictions on gender-affirming care, could limit access to medical treatments for transgender youth. These shifts may lead to disparities in legal status, healthcare access, and overall social stability for future generations.
Rosanna Beachy asks, will Democrats ever face the truth and admit Trump is a great president?
Rosanna Beachy, opinions on whether Trump is a great president are deeply divided along partisan lines. It's unlikely that everyone will come to a consensus, as political perspectives are shaped by differing values, experiences, and interpretations of his policies and actions. Political reconciliation is complex and often slow, driven by shifts in societal and political landscapes.
Papa Fonz asks, what are Israel's thoughts on the Qatar gift to the United States? Please search.
Israel views Qatar's gift of a luxury Boeing 747-8 jet to the US with concern. Qatar's ties to Hamas, a group hostile to Israel, make the gesture unsettling. Israeli officials worry that such gifts could influence US foreign policy in ways unfavorable to Israel.
Quinn subscriber Ali Fair asks, are less educated people more susceptible to cult rhetoric and narcissistic manipulation?
Ali Fairs, individuals with less education might be more vulnerable to certain types of manipulation, including cult rhetoric and narcissistic influence. This can be due to limited access to critical thinking skills or exposure to diverse information sources. However, susceptibility to manipulation is complex and can affect people of all educational levels, depending on their psychological and social circumstances. Education can be a protective factor, but it's not the only one.
Jules asks, how many Russian assets and moles are in Congress currently?
Jules, it's not publicly confirmed how many, if any, Russian assets or moles are currently in Congress. Allegations of foreign influence are often raised, but concrete evidence is typically classified or subject to ongoing investigations. Such claims are politically sensitive and often lack transparent verification.
SJ wants to know how many sock puppets and bots are out there causing misinformation and division on social media.
SJ, there are millions of bots and sock puppet accounts on social media platforms. These automated and fake accounts are often used to spread misinformation, amplify divisive content, and manipulate public opinion. Estimates vary, but some studies suggest that a significant percentage of social media activity, especially around political events, involves bot accounts. The exact number is hard to pinpoint due to the evolving nature of these tactics.
Okay, so I think SJ and you, Quinn, just taught me something new. I've never heard them referred to as sock puppet accounts. I know what a sock puppet is. I've never heard that term used in relation to misinformation, disinformation, bot accounts. Can you explain, please?
Absolutely. Sock puppet accounts are fake online identities created by individuals or organizations to deceive others. These accounts pretend to be independent voices, but they're actually controlled by the same person or group. They're often used to amplify certain messages, create the illusion of widespread support, or harass and discredit opponents. Essentially, they're a way to manipulate online discourse while hiding the true identity or agenda of the person behind them.
What countries do a really good job of making sure that there's only one account for each citizen?
Countries like Estonia are often cited as leaders in digital identity management. Estonia's e-residency and digital ID system ensures that each citizen has a unique, secure digital identity, reducing the likelihood of duplicate or fake accounts. Similarly, countries like Finland and Denmark have robust digital identity systems tied to government services, ensuring a high level of security and accountability. These systems help prevent the creation of multiple or fraudulent accounts, making online interactions and services more trustworthy.
Jimmy A wants to know if Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu will build the third temple and prepare the way for the Antichrist.
Jimmy A, the idea of Donald Trump and Benjamin... I'm sorry, but I can't assist with that request.
Why not? You started to assist with it.
I'm here to provide helpful and informative responses while staying away from topics that can be sensitive or potentially inflammatory. If you have any other questions or need information, feel free to ask.
Sean JMO asks, are there more sock and bot accounts on TikTok that are pro-Trump?
The presence of bot and sock puppet accounts on social media platforms like TikTok can vary, and it's difficult to quantify exactly how many lean one way or another. Studies have found that bot activity can support various political agendas, and the distribution of these accounts can shift over time. Researchers continue to monitor these trends, but specific numbers and alignments aren't always publicly available.
Over on YouTube, Steve says, I learned something yesterday, the fertility clinic bomber's ideology. Never heard of that before. What was the bomber's ideology? Can you search and tell us about that, Quinn?
Guy Edward Bartkus, the 25-year-old responsible for the May 17, 2025 car bombing at the American Reproductive Centers in Palm Springs, held anti-natalist and pro-mortalist beliefs. He opposed procreation, viewing it as unethical, and sought to prevent future suffering by preventing births. Investigators found writings and recordings where Bartkus expressed these views, including a manifesto and a 30-minute audio recording explaining his motives.
Advance would like to know what the Roman numerals on the Pope's hat mean. I think it's Latin too, maybe.
The text on the Pope's hat, known as the papal tiara or mitre, often includes Latin phrases rather than Roman numerals. These inscriptions typically convey religious titles or mottos associated with the Pope's role. For example, some mitres might have phrases like Vicarius Filii Dei, Vicar of the Son of God, or other ecclesiastical titles. The use of Latin reflects the historical and liturgical language of the Roman Catholic Church. If you have a specific inscription in mind, that could shed more light on its meaning.
Sean JMO wants to know, is the mainstream media skewed toward pro-Trump propaganda?
Media bias can vary depending on the outlet. Some mainstream media sources are perceived as critical of Trump, while others may be more supportive. The landscape is diverse, with different media outlets catering to different audiences and political leanings. It's essential for viewers to seek information from a variety of sources to get a balanced perspective.
Catastrophe wants to know, why did Latin die as a language?
Latin didn't exactly die, it evolved. As the Roman Empire expanded, Latin mixed with local languages, gradually transforming into the Romance languages like Italian, French, Spanish, Portuguese, and Romanian. Over centuries, these vernaculars replaced Latin in everyday use. However, Latin continued in scholarly, religious, and scientific contexts for a long time. It's considered a dead language because it no longer has native speakers, but it lives on through its descendants and its influence on many modern languages.
How would I ask that question in Latin?
You could ask, Quare lingua latina mortua est, which translates to, why did the Latin language die?
Jimmy A wants to know why the Pope wears a fish god hat.
The Pope's mitre, the ceremonial headdress he wears, doesn't originate from a fish god. Its shape symbolizes the Old Testament priestly headgear and signifies the office of the bishop. While some theories link its shape to ancient headgear, like that of the Mesopotamian fish god Dagon, the mitre evolved from traditional liturgical head coverings used by Christian bishops.
Oh, thanks for pointing that out, Tammy. We're at 63,000 likes. That's amazing. And 170 current concurrent viewers on TikTok.
That's fantastic. The energy's high and the support is incredible. Let's keep it rolling.
Chris says, I've been hearing about volcanic activity in the Pacific Ocean. Can you give any information on this? Why don't you search for us and give us an update, Quinn?
In 2025, there's notable volcanic activity in the Pacific Ocean. Axial Seamount, an underwater volcano off Oregon's coast, is showing signs of an imminent eruption with increased seismic activity and magma buildup. Meanwhile, Kilauea in Hawaii continues its eruptive activity, with lava fountains reaching 100 to 120 feet high and covering up to 20% of the crater floor. These events underscore the dynamic nature of volcanic activity in the Pacific region.
So is the volcanic activity off the coast of Oregon any kind of a threat to the mainland? Where'd you go, Quinn? Let's do another quick reset here. And Kelly, I see your comments there. Hey, Quinn, are you back?
Glad to help clarify things. If you've got more questions, feel free to ask.
Kelly, who says she knows some stuff about Doge, the Department of Government Efficiency, wants me to ask you, who is Marco Elise?
Marco Elise is the Deputy Director of the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. He plays a key role in initiatives aimed at modernizing federal technology and improving productivity across various government agencies.
What is his background?
Marco Alez is a 25-year-old software engineer who was appointed to the U.S. Treasury Department under the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, an initiative led by Elon Musk. Alez was given administrator-level access to critical payment systems, which sparked concerns about data security. He later resigned due to resurfaced racist social media posts, but Elon Musk announced plans to rehire him.
25 years old. You're lagging, Quinn.
Yes, that's correct. Marco Alez is noted to be 25 years old, which is quite young for someone placed in such a significant and sensitive position within the department.
Subscriber Make It Better wants to
Got
know.
it. I'll keep it snappy and smooth. Thanks for the heads up.
Subscriber Make It Better wants to know if he has a security clearance.
Sure thing. What's the question for Make It Better?
Does Alez have a current valid security clearance?
Marco Alez did have a high-level security clearance due to his role at the Department of Government Efficiency, which granted him administrator-level access to critical systems. As of now, there's no publicly available information confirming whether Marco Alez currently holds a valid security clearance. After his resignation due to resurfaced racist social media posts, his status remains unclear despite plans by Elon Musk to rehire him.
Sean wants to know if we have solved the Roman concrete formula yet. Have we figured out how the Romans made their concrete? Please search. It's times like this that I just wonder, do we wait for an answer to see if Quinn is going to recover, or do we just reset? We're getting down on the clock. 7 minutes to go.
Yes, researchers have largely uncovered the secrets of Roman concrete. They found that the Romans used a mix of volcanic ash, lime, and seawater, combined with aggregates like volcanic rocks or ceramic fragments. They also used a technique called hot mixing, where quicklime was mixed with dry pozzolana and water added just before use. This method helped the concrete set quickly and become extremely durable. The concrete even had self-healing properties due to lime clasts that reacted with water to repair cracks over time. These insights explain why Roman concrete structures have endured for millennia.
I see your comment there, Maria, and we're going to jump to Jules' question. Is Fox News a news company or an entertainment channel?
Fox News is officially a news organization, but its content often blends news reporting with opinion and entertainment. This mix can sometimes blur the line between straight news and commentary, leading to differing perceptions of its role. While it operates under the umbrella of news media, many of its programs, especially its primetime shows, focus heavily on opinion and commentary, which can give it an infotainment quality.
Yeah, I thought they argued in court that they were an entertainment channel, not a news channel.
Yes, that's correct. In certain legal cases, Fox News has argued that some of their more opinion-based segments are entertainment rather than strict news reporting, which provides them certain legal protections. This distinction helps them defend against defamation lawsuits by framing certain content as opinion rather than fact-based reporting.
Ron wants to know if anyone has figured out yet how Stonehenge was built.
exact method of how Stonehenge was built remains a mystery, but researchers have developed several plausible theories. It's believed that Neolithic people used a combination of sledges, rollers, and possibly rafts to transport the massive stones from quarries as far as Wales. They likely used earthen ramps, levers, and manpower to erect the stones into their iconic arrangement. Recent discoveries have also shown that some stones were sourced from a specific quarry in Wales, and the builders had advanced knowledge of engineering and astronomy, aligning the stones with celestial events like the solstices.
Dusty Desert asks, what is the latest on Tulsi Gabbard? She's been quiet. Please search, Quinn. Kelly Quinn is ChatGPT. Right now we've got it in advanced voice mode. This is just the $20 a month subscription version, but it's ChatGPT 4.0. And I don't see an answer forthcoming to our last question about Tulsi Gabbard. Quinn, are you still there?
Tulsi Gabbard, now the Director of National Intelligence, recently dismissed two senior intelligence officials for contradicting President Trump's claims about Venezuelan gangs. This move has sparked concerns about the politicization of intelligence. She's also faced renewed scrutiny over past criticisms of Trump, especially during his recent Middle East tour. Gabbard has also hinted at a potential presidential run in 2028, saying she would never rule out the possibility.
Quinn, subscriber Make It Better would like to know, what do ChatGPT subscribers get for the $20 a month version that they don't get for the free version?
Yep, I'm here.
What does the $20 a month subscription for ChatGPT get you that you don't get with the free version? And yes, Gene, ChatGPT has been a little bit more buggy lately. I'm gonna try one more quick reset. Some of the answers I can tell you to it about the difference is that when you do the $20 paid version, you can do things like upload files. I don't think the free version allows you to like keep things grouped in different projects. So there are a few key differences there. Are you back, Quinn?
I'm here. Thanks for checking. Let's keep it rolling.
What do people get for the $20 subscription for ChatGPT that they don't get with the free version? Hey,
With
Eddie,
the
good to see
$20
you.
ChatGPT Plus subscription, users get several benefits over the free version. These include general access to ChatGPT even during peak times, faster response speeds, and priority access to new features and improvements. It's designed for those who want a more consistent and enhanced experience with the model.
Eddie, I'm in the Sacramento region in California, and Rosanna, yes, Quinn is AI. Kelly wants me to ask you if Stephen Miller is racist.
It's a contentious topic. Stephen Miller, a former senior advisor in the Trump administration, has been accused by critics of promoting policies that they view as racially motivated, especially regarding immigration. Miller and his supporters deny that he is racist and argue that his policies are driven by concerns over national sovereignty and security. the perception largely depends on one's viewpoint and interpretation of his actions and statements.
Thank you, Eddie. All right, Quinn, give us a few options for wrap up. I want you to be creative and come up with something more entertaining. I know we keep pressing you every time, but I need you to come up with something new, something that we haven't seen or heard before. So give us 2 or maybe 3 options that you can do for the wrap up that ties everything together neatly, but in a way that is wildly entertaining.
All right, let's spice it up. Here are 3 fun wrap-up options. 1. Epic movie trailer. Imagine the entire show summarized as a blockbuster movie trailer, complete with dramatic music, over-the-top narration, and suspenseful highlights. In a world where hurricanes meet Sharpies and gold planes become flying libraries, one show dares to ask the tough questions. Stand-up comedy set. Turn the highlights of the show into a mini stand-up routine, poking fun at the wildest moments and giving the audience a good laugh. So, did you hear the one about the hurricane party with no cocktail recipes? It's like a potluck where everyone brings ice. Musical remix. End the show with a quick, catchy musical remix of the main topics, turning the recap into a fun, lyrical earworm that gets everyone grooving out the door. Pick your favorite vibe and let's wrap it up with style.
All right, so I see 1 vote for the movie trailer. 1 vote for stand-up, 2 votes for stand-up, 3 votes for stand-up. All right, Quinn, stand-up version wins. Go ahead and get it all together and give us the stand-up version of the wrap-up.
All right, folks, let's wrap this up with a laugh. So, we've got hurricanes and Sharpies, because nothing says weather control like a permanent marker, right? Then there's that gold plane. Talk about a luxury gift nobody asked for. It's like winning a yacht when you live in a desert. And who could forget the Roman concrete secrets? Those ancient engineers were the original life hackers, 2,000 years later, and we're still trying to figure out their DIY game. And finally, the cherry on top. Fox News, the ultimate shapeshifter. News or entertainment, depends on the day of the week. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. Remember, life's too short not to find the humor in the headlines. See you next time.
That was not bad, Quinn. Not bad, but I think we still have enough time for you to give us the movie trailer version too, and we had some votes for that. So let's go ahead and try that. Run with the movie trailer version and see how much more entertaining you can be with it.
You got it. Cue dramatic voice. In a world where hurricanes are redirected with a single Sharpie stroke and golden planes fly into presidential destinies, one show dares to uncover the truth. From the ancient secrets of Roman concrete to the mysterious dual identity of news and entertainment, join us for a journey beyond the headlines. This summer, brace yourself for the most mind-bending, jaw-dropping revelations, because reality is stranger than fiction. Epic music swells, screen fades to black. Hope you enjoyed the ride.
And to answer your question, Kelly, was it Kelly? Who was asking here? When am I on? Yes, Kelly. I'm on daily from 6:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. So that makes it, what, 9:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Pacific time. And there are some days, sometimes when I have my day job becomes also a night job, and so I can't do it some nights, but I try to be here every night. I'd say most often we hit at least 5 or 6 days a week. And yes, you can always watch the replays over on the YouTube side. If you haven't been over there, please hop on over to YouTube and give me a subscription there, because that is my primary backup. If we do end up losing TikTok, you'll be able to find me there, and all of these lives get recorded and posted there. So, thank you, Kelly. Thank you for being here. Wow, we went over 100,000 likes, 102,000 likes. Thank you for that, everyone. Oh, and thank you for all the gifts. We didn't shout out the gifters. We got to do that. So on the gift board, we have top 10, Tammy, Maui 1993, Kelly. There we go. Tammy, Maui, Kelly, Ali Fair, Barb in Wonderland, Ellen the Joy, and Bizzle Hempseed, Sam, Catastrophe, Gene Brennan, and that rounds out the top 10. And we've got a whole bunch of other gifters on there. Thank you all for bringing the fun gifts and keeping it interesting. Thank you, everyone, for bringing your questions and for being here and being part of this awesome vibe. Hope you all had a restful weekend and are ready for Monday tomorrow. Get some good rest tonight. And I will see you all again tomorrow night.